focus for today, is to get this pipe dream global purge working. The first request, if you look at it, it was stale, which is exactly, one thing that we're trying to improve, so that it's not the request that refreshes the page. We can explicitly purge the cache. So that one, if you look at the TTL, it had a negative 266. So that was stale for about 4 minutes and a bit. That's in seconds.
Okay, so that means that it's been stale for a while, but there hasn't been a request for it, so it hasn't had a reason to refresh, and now
that is correct.
We hit it, and so now it's going to be 44 seconds. 60
by default, yeah. And if you hit it again, let's see what happens since we were talking. What do we see back? Yeah, so it was stale for 3 seconds.
Barely.
Now, if you want, we can try a purge really quickly to see how that behaves. Just understand the mechanics. Purged. There we go. And if you run the request again, you'll see that it's miss. So that's the purge. It shows us how it behaves in practice. This is just one instance, but honestly, we need to do it across all the CDN instances we want to purge. So that's what makes this more challenging.
Which was why you have this DNS lookup to get all of the instances. Yes. So this assumes, because the address is .internal, this assumes that you are on Fly's network, right?
That's correct, yes. We're using the Fly DNS. It has some extra records like this one, for example, which is an IPv6 record for the application name.internal.
And there's your dig command that you put in the pull request.
Nice, because you have WireGuard set up. Very nice.
I do.
Is that one prepared?
So ready.
Very nice.
Told you I'd be ready to rock.
That's perfect. Nice.
Okay, so here you have effectively what you're doing is, here's your bash one-liner. So we're taking this, which effectively just does that exact same dig request, gets all these addresses, loops over them, and runs a curl command for each one with that X purge and the address, right?
Yes.
And then it prints it out. So we basically just need to get this into our app the Elixir way, as you said.
Yeah.
The first thing we're going to need is a way of doing that same dig, or effectively the same DNS lookup, which I already have done. I don't know if that's cheating or not, but Claude wrote it for me, and I just tested it, and it works. So we have that code. I can just walk you through that, and we can run it. First, let's talk about the DNS thing. So this is not my code, but it's probably better than I could write it. It's just a new module that Claude wrote with an AAA method, and returns the addresses. And I've test-driven this, so I know it works. Here it is right here. So we already have the DNS bits done. For those who are interested in the way it works, it's basically just using Erlang's inet_res module, wrapping that in some stuff to format, etc., and get us back those addresses. Those addresses do match, correct? Yeah, they look the same.
Yeah.
So we're good there. Request with 4 is undefined. Well, what did I do wrong there?
Oh, that was
method URL body. Well, how's it undefined? What? Change.html. Oh, I didn't mock that. That's why I'm mocking it with two arguments. I need to mock it with 4 arguments so that it actually defines that for me. So we changed our actual API a little. Okay, still failing, but we got past that thing. This should work because we're returning 1 in the list there. Still failing. Poo.
The path is correct. Yeah, that's actually a good way of checking whether this is even being called.
See, if it passes when I tell it that this doesn't matter. So like this is what's failing, is we're not constructing that correctly.
Okay. So can we see how we're constructing it?
We can. So that's this function right here. So the address.
Could it be that the path has 2 forward slashes instead of 1?
Oh, it totally could.
Usually that's what it is.
Yeah, that was it. It was like this, / uploads.
That's what experience looks like.
Yeah, totally. The fact that you knew that, and as soon as you said it, I was like, you're absolutely right. So it's this. This is the problem. We have 100% test coverage, I think, ish, for this one function
I think it's good. This is good. Yeah, this is good. This is an important part, and we know that it has failed in the past, and it's annoying when it does, because debugging this is not fun.
Yes. Do I reuse this? I do. Sometimes I just want to make sure and clean up a little bit. I think we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
So should we actually just fire this up and run it against?
We should.
Yeah. Let's do that. So what's the best way of doing that? Obviously in the terminal makes sense. for the actual call. And then maybe in a different terminal, we can do our curls.
So what I would do, I would try and push this into production to see how it behaves, which is that commit and push. And then while that happens, while the deploy happens, we can like try the local.
One issue I have is you have a different branch than I have. I had a local branch and you have this branch. So how can I hook my local branch up to yours? Because you've already pushed this. I already have a commit as well on the DNS stuff, and I'll add a commit here for this stuff.
Right, so if you add a commit to this stuff, then you can rebase your local branch on top of the remote branch and then push it again.
What do we call this one? Add pipe dream
purge. That's okay for now. Yeah. We can come back and refine it later. Nice.
Okay. All right.
So now you're locally.
So yes.
On branch. Yeah.
I'm on my pipely purge branch, which is only local.
So you want to fetch the remote branch. So say git fetch origin.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I can do git rebase on top of that. And now that I think of it, actually no. What you'll want to do is check out that branch. So git check out that branch and rebase that branch on top of your branch.
Good.
That's okay.
Did you change something there? Must have.
Yes, I did. It's the application instance I've changed. Yes.
All right. And now rebase my pipely purge branch on right now.
Now rebase, on top of pipely purge. Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Cool. So here's yours. Here's mine.
Perfect.
Let's run mixed test real quick.
Yeah.
I did have an unused alias. No big deal.
By the way, these will run in CI as well before we deploy. But you're right. A local test is always quicker. Even though I'm wondering by how much. How long does it take, by the way, your test to run locally?
19.7 seconds.
Lovely. So let's push it and see how long it will take in CI.
Oh.
Okay. That's okay.
Oh, I have to force
push it. Yeah, force push it.
My least favorite thing to do.
Why?
It just feels so pushy. No.
Well, it is, but I'm saying, Jared, push it.
I know you are.
I'm asking for it.
You are.
So this is good. This is good. All right. So let's just confirm that the CI is running. I'm sure it is, but let's just double check. There you go. Perfect. Force pushed. Some checks haven't completed yet. That's exactly what we want to see. So the first thing which I think we should do is check a URL that will be cached. It can be the same MP3 one if you want, the one that you had in the tests. Or anyone. You can pick any URL.
Let's do /news. And this will be cached because I've just hit it a couple times, right? Yeah. Or I'm logged in, so maybe not.
Maybe not.
But I'll just do this. So there's one.
Yeah.
Hits 4.
Yes.
That's my 5th hit. Then we want to say changelog.pipedream.purge. Bam. Okay. Now this should be new, right?
Should be miss. Yes.
Miss.
This should be a miss.
Miss.
Look at that. Look at that. Nice.
We're good, man.
Nice.
Good.
Look at that. First time. How about we try one where the host differs? So actually, now that I think of it, Pipedream, the host, CDN2, but let's try static access where the origin is a different one, Where
the origin is different than Pipedream.
The origin is different than the application. In this case, the origin would be the static access.
Cloudflare. So you want CDN2.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So miss. Hit.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Hit. Okay.
Purge.
And now purge. I'm going to just copy this so I don't have that. And purge. Okay. Uh-oh. Hits.
Not good.
Not good.
So what happened?
Oh, this is changelog.place. That's fine, right?
Yeah, this is fine. That's exactly what the origin is.
Right, that's the Cloudflare backend, right?
Yeah. So this is correct. CDN2 changelog.com. We are using the host. Can you do another request?
Sure.
Just to double check.
It's 5.
Okay, no, this was not purged. Yeah, this was definitely not purged.
5 more seconds.
Can we go back to the purge again? It feels like something is missing. CDN2. I think I know what's happening here. Okay, so this is okay. Can you open up the Pipely repository? And if you go to Varnish, the Varnish directory, and if you open up pipedream.changelog.com, That's the one. And if you scroll down, what we're looking for, okay, so that's still fine. Varnish health check, that's fine. We have the host, that is correct. We have all those redirects, that is correct. If we keep going, practical AI redirects, purging, return purge, if request method purge. Okay, but is that? Okay, I'll need to look into this.